Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So, what we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about my top picks for the upcoming Game Awards that's gonna air on the 11th of December. So, let's get into it. First off is we're gonna talk about best game direction. So for the following games, each one of these are all unique with one another. So for FF7 Remake, this particular game has been upgraded to its full potential from the already phenomenal 1997 version. So it can be attributed to the script, the graphical improvements, as well as the new gameplay mechanics that was introduced, which was quite similar to. It's a mix of FF13 and 15 in that regards, which is something that's adds a new flavor to the game actually. So for the next one is we're gonna talk about Ghost of Tsushima. So it's very well done in terms of depicting the 1274 Mongol invasion that happened. It showcased how beautiful the island was before, as well as the effects of the war that happened. And then next is Hades. So actually, I've never played any roguelike games before, and this is actually my first one. And I gotta say, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm still doing my other runs because it's quite difficult, especially when you don't get the specific boons that you need. So far, the story that's presented is unique and exciting, though you have to do multiple runs to appreciate it. Next is we got Half-Life Alex. So for Half-Life Alex, it's by far the best VR game that I've ever seen in my life. Too bad I couldn't experience it because I don't have VR equipment here. So hopefully in the future I get to try it. And what's great about this is based on the videos that I've seen, as well as some of the playthroughs. All the players have nothing but praise for the gameplay and how the implemented mechanics were done. It was really well polished for a VR game, so that's great. And next one is Last of Us Part One, or Part Two rather. So Part One is an already highly praised game from before, and Part Two just elevates everything from what Part One has established, and it has made players experience what it's like to be on both sides of revenge, from Ellie's side and Abby's side. And although the last part that happened with the game is debatable, so it's up to you guys to determine if it's great or not. So for my pick here, I'm gonna go with Last of Us Part 2. And then it would be closely followed by Ghost of Tsushima. All right, so moving to the next part is Best Narrative. Okay, so I'm not familiar with 13 Sentinel, so I can't really comment on the game. FF7 Remake story revolves around the Midgard portion of the original game and has added additional plot lines for the upcoming part 2 of the game, which is exciting to look forward to. Ghost of Tsushima, on the other hand, has a clear path ahead in terms of narrative, wherein Tsushima has been invaded by the Mongols, and our hero Jin is has a straightforward goal of retaking back the island and gathering different allies. So next is Hades. So for Hades, in terms of narrative, you need multiple playthroughs in order to complete the story. So the difficulty and unlucky RNGs can prevent the player from finishing the game because it is quite difficult. For for my case, I was having trouble with finishing the game. So that depends on the player. Next is we have Last of Us Part 2. So at the start, it establishes the overall arc of the story, which is the revenge for what happened to Joel, and it's been established quite nicely. However, we have flashbacks from both Ellie and Abby's side, which breaks the flow of the game sometimes. Uh there are a lot of parts in, especially in Abby's story, that tend to drag for such a long time. So it leads to uneven pacing of the game. So for this particular category, I'm gonna go with Ghost of Tsushima for my pick. I feel like the narrative of the game is clear and concise. So yeah, that's it. Moving to best art direction. All right. So for art direction, FF7 has provided a modernized look of the 1997 version of the game. Ghost of Tsushima setting is a wonderful recreation of the Tsushima island of Japan. And of course, it has been made visually appetizing to the players, especially for each of the regions because it's quite distinct. It's quite gorgeous to look at. So you won't have any problems with going around the map because you can find a lot of things around the map. So the vegetation is unique, the topography on each region is unique. So that's great. So Hades is visually striking for an indie game. Every level of each part has been filled with interesting things to look at. Enemy designs vary per area and have distinct characteristics. Each of the gods are quite distinguishable as well, based on their attitude as well as the voiceover that's well done to which I may say. So yeah, that's for Hades. Ori, I haven't played this game yet, so I couldn't comment on it as well. I'll probably try this in the future because it's gorgeous to look at. So for The Last of Us Part 2, they did a fine job of a post-apocalyptic world that's been taken over by nature. Oh, and plus the new designs for the infected are cool to look at, especially at the model viewer of the game. So, for best art direction, I'm gonna go with Hades for this one. I really love the art style and how the world was created. So, next, we got best score in music. So, all of these games have a great soundtrack. So, we got Doom Eternal that gets the blood rushing for each enemy encounter, especially at the bosses. We got FF7 Remake, which still has this very great battle music that's easily identifiable, as well as it has its moments that the music is quite soothing. Then we got Hades, which has this underground type of music that's fitting to the setting. Next, Ori's music is whimsical. I haven't tried this, but I did listen to the soundtrack, and it's nice. It offers a great background music. Last of Us Part 2 has great music as well. It's very emotional at certain scenes. So you can really feel what the characters are feeling at that moment. So for best score and music, I'm gonna give this to Doom Eternal. Because man, that music when you're killing off all the demons it's memorable. Memorable and great. Okay, now we're moving to best audio design. So for best audio design, Doom's got that satisfying feel whenever you shoot demons in the face. Each of the guns has this certain sound to it that's very solid. Half-Life Alyx, based on the videos I've seen, has immersive audio, which makes the VR experience more immersive. Ghost of Tsushima it's got this serene and intense moments, which the audio complements very well whenever this shows up. RE3's audio is alright. It gets way more intense whenever Nemesis appears because it's a tense moment of fight or flight. Last of Us 2 has very solid sound cues. So from enemies that's about to spot you, you're gonna hear where they're coming from. Even if you're just using the TV, the stereo audio is great because you can tell where it's coming from. And then the guns sound effects have a strong impact whenever you fire. So I feel like Last of Us 2 is gonna win this one. And then next is we have Best Performance. Okay, so for Best Performance, Ashley Johnson did another phenomenal job of portraying Ellie. Man, her acting is on point for this one. Then we have Laura Bailey as Abby. It complemented well together with what Ashley Johnson did, and as well as a second protagonist of the game. Next we have Daisuke, which is Jin. The character was a little bit flat, so we couldn't really experience the emotions that the character was going through. Logan's voice as Hades is nothing but great, man. The voice is gonna give you chills, but mostly the character is just one-dimensional. Then we got Miles Morales. Based on the trailers I've seen, the Naji did a great job of portraying Miles. Although I have yet to play this game because I'm waiting for the PS5 version. I think it's available. Yeah, it's available now, but I don't have a PS5. So that's that. Next, we have Games for Impact. I played none of these games, so I can't really comment on this category. So we're gonna skip this one. I'll do my research though on what's the gameplay for each of these games, so I could understand it more. I'll need to actually play it. So yeah, moving on. Best ongoing game. All right, for this one, I want to give it to No Man's Sky because the developers did a huge amount of content to get back from the negative criticism that they faced when it launched, because it received so many negative feedback and the developers hype it up as some very epic game before it launched. This category, No Man's Sky should be followed by Fortnite because of all the brand collaborations that Fortnite did, especially with the characters from Marvel as well as DC. The game evolved from being a battle royale shooter to something that's even better. So yeah, hopefully No Man's Sky wins this one. Next is we have Best Indie Game. So you already know what I'm gonna answer for this one. So every one of these games made an impact on the community and has created a dedicated niche of players. Though I think Among Us should be included here. Yeah, I think Among Us should be here. But I'm gonna give this one to Hades. So that's for Best Indie Game. Next, we have Best Mobile Game. So for this particular category, do people play Among Us on mobile? I don't know anyone that plays on mobile. Hmm. In the case of Call of Duty Mobile, it's very popular here in the Philippines. A lot of players are streaming this right now, as well as there's a lot of ongoing tournaments for this particular game. So that's nice. Genshin Impact, right? It's definitely one of the best free-to-play games that was released this year. Although I'm not into gacha games, so I haven't played this one. Next is we have Legends of Runeterra. This is from Riot Games. I haven't played these. Pokemon Cafe Mix. I haven't played this as well. Although this might be popular in other countries. I don't know anyone that plays this right now. So for best mobile game is I'm gonna give this to Genshin Impact. Moving on to best community support. So I'm not familiar with the community of Apex Legends. Destiny 2, I've heard some people as well as read some comments that people are getting tired of the game despite the new content because I don't know, they just ran out of interest for it. Fall Guys, I'm not sure if yeah, this game has a strong community support. It's been improved. I think the developers are doing a great job of listening to the players and what they want to do. Fortnite's community, I'm not familiar. No Man's Sky has a dedicated niche of market for players that continuously plays the game because of the improvements that the developers are doing, which is great. And then I actively play Valorant. So when I can say that it takes a long time before developers fix the bugs and patches the things. So they do listen to the community, but it takes a long time before things get fixed. For community support, I hope No Man's Sky wins this. Yeah, I really want to support this game. Best BR and AR. Okay, clear winner here. It's gonna go to Half-Life Alex. If not, it's closely followed by Dreams because when you see how Dreams is implemented on VR as well, it's a technological marvel for what I've seen and how the engine works. So yeah, Half-Life Alex or Dreams for best VR. Okay, next one is innovation and accessibility. This is actually a great category because we can see that developers are pushing the boundaries of making their games available for all the types of players. So, without a doubt, Last of Us Part 2 gets this because the options offered are quite extensive and I've never seen quite like it before. I've also watched this interview of a blind person that was able to finish the game just because of the accessibility options. So that's definitely nice. Okay, for best action game. All these games are action packed. To which I can say, hmm, based on all of these games, I'm gonna go with Doom Eternal because of how fast paced it is and how movement and gun variations are put into the mix. So it creates this thrilling gameplay experience that you can tackle each of the encounters differently with the different types of guns. So yeah, best action game goes to Doom Eternal. Moving next is we got best action adventure. Okay, these games are all great in my regard. Although I think AC Valhalla, Ghost of Tsushima, and Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order are gonna be competing neck to neck on this one. Uh, because it gives you this sandbox area that you can do whatever you want. It also gives your character different types of build. So you can customize it to your liking. You can go for a particular path on the character. So uh it gives you a more exciting way to tackle the adventure or the the quest. Mm, I'm gonna give this to either Ghost of Tsushima or Jedi Fallen Order. But for me, the winner would be Ghost of Tsushima. Next. We got best role playing game. So I think personally, this award would go to Persona 5 Royal because it's enhanced the base version of the game and offered a lot of additional content. I'm happy as well that Yakuza Like a Dragon is included in this one because it was a mm, big departure from the previous gameplay mechanics. So they tried with something that's more RPG based and it turned out great. It's really great. Wasteland 3, I haven't played this before. FF7, it's a strong contender as well for role playing game. Genshin Impact as well because it offers you different characters with different movesets as well as builds. But for me, best role playing game would go to Persona 5 Royal. Moving on, we got to best fighting game. I'm not much of a fighting game player. So I don't know much when it comes to this category. But in terms of the popularity and how deep the movesets of each characters are, I'll definitely give this one to Mortal Kombat 11 for how well each characters feel. So yeah, Mortal Kombat 11 takes this one. Best family game. Okay, for best family game, all of these are great actually. It can be played by a younger audience with their family. Just watching from the background. So I'm not sure if Crash Bandicoot and Minecraft Dungeons fit this category because these games are difficult to some degree. So I'm not sure if the younger audience are gonna appreciate the game. I mean, they're gonna love the art and then they're gonna love how it plays out. But in terms of difficulty, they might encounter a problem there. So the case of Animal Crossing New Horizons. Multiplayer connections has issues. I have a friend that actively plays this, and he always gets trouble in terms of connecting with other people's islands. He gets disconnected often. But it's enjoyable if you're gonna play it with a family or if you have other family members that's enjoying this game, and it's something that kind of saved a huge part of 2020 because most of us are just stuck here at home because of the pandemic. So we got to live a virtual world, which is great. Fall Guys as well kind of saved 2020 because it offered a lot of content for streamers out there. It's exciting when you're playing with friends. It's not much. It's not that good, I guess, if you're playing solo or if you don't have anyone watching you play. Paper Mario. Haven't played this. I don't have a Switch. My brother has a Switch, but he doesn't have the game. And then we have Mario Kart Live Home Circuit. So this is gonna appeal to a certain niche of players because in my regard, I don't really see the appeal of the game. I mean, you can play it's a nice feature, but it's not something that's uh replayable unless you have or maybe of course I'm not the market for this one. Though I'm pretty sure that kids are gonna love this. And Mario Kart players as well. So for best family game, I'm gonna give this to Animal Crossing. Yeah, Animal Crossing fits this one perfectly. Best sim strategy. So based on the articles I've read, Flight Simulator is uh demanding in terms of hardware because it pushes the components, the graphics card, the CPU to its full potential. And come on, it lets you travel the whole world. So that's a nice feature. I keep seeing these videos of people just finding their houses and just traveling to different parts of the world. So that's a great feeling. But you definitely need a good PC to run it. Crusader Kings 3, haven't played this. Desperados 3, I've seen a bit of this. It reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics as well as XCOM, yeah. Then we have Gears Tactics as well as XCOM, which are actually great strategy games. Although I'm gonna give this one to Flight Simulator for being how innovative it is. Right? So moving next, we got Best Sports and Racing. Okay, so this is a bit controversial. Dirt 5, I've heard it's a great game for rally enthusiasts. Same goes for F1 2020 because we have a lot of people that's really interested in the sport. Excuse me. And then we have FIFA 21, which got a really low score in terms of user reviews. And I think game reviews as well. Yeah, game reviews as well. Because people keep saying it's just a copy-pasted version of the 2020 version, which is disappointing. And then we got NBA 2K21, which is almost similar to the first game. I've seen a bit of the gameplay here, and my brother says it plays better than the previous one. Though we got a lot of microtransaction elements to this one, so it's not that good. Microtransactions are never good, especially when it gives you an advantage. That's never a good thing. And then we got the surprise of the year as well in terms of sports. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. That's been remastered. I've seen a lot of people playing this and they're really enjoying it. So it made me curious as well. I'll probably buy it in the future. I'll add it to my backlogs. I'm gonna give this one to Tony Hawk's. Best multiplayer game. As I've said earlier, Animal Crossing has a problem with connecting. It has a lot of issues with that, but whenever you can connect with other people, it's quite the experience because you're able to visit your friends from a long distance as well as have this sort of connection that's fun and interesting because you're meeting in a virtual world. You can customize your world to how exactly you want it. Among Us has taken this year by storm. A lot of streamers are playing it. A lot of people are playing it. I even play this with friends. It's better to play it with friends because it's kind of difficult when you're playing with randoms. Most of the time, they just randomly disconnect if they're not feeling the game. Or most of the time, they're gonna just troll the game because there's no repercussions whenever you quit. Warzone is exciting. I'm an active player of Warzone. I always play it with my brother and his best friend. We're always excited whenever new content drops, like changes in the map, the new briefings, new weapons, the battle pass, the characters. So I really like Warzone as well. Fall Guys. Mm, Fall Guys is good. I mean, it's frustrating a lot of times because you're competing with a lot of players, and it's difficult to get to first place. So most of the time you're gonna get last or gonna get eliminated by some sort of ridiculous way. Valorant, I like playing this game as well. The only problem I have with Valorant is sometimes the community is too much, especially here in the Philippines. Mm, I guess it depends on the server that you connect, but sometimes the experience can be jarring in terms of communication with other players because a lot of people are really, really salty in this game. They get mad quite frequently. But yeah, you'll also meet a lot of people here, which are also good. I've made a lot of friends for this game. When I'm streaming, I play with them all the time, so it's great. They're great people. You meet great people with this game as well. So for best multiplayer game, I'm gonna give this to Warzone or Valorant. I'll give this to Valorant because I'm playing this game with more friends. Okay, content creator of the year. For this particular video, I just want to focus on the video games. Since I have a little bit of idea for these people, I want Nick Mercs to win this one because he's a great content creator in terms of Warzone. Tim the Tatman as well. Valkyrie, I only see her streams with Among Us with a lot of content creators from Twitch as well as YouTube. Jay Ann Lopez, I'm not familiar with her work. Alana Pierce is great as well in terms of content. She does this reviews, discussions on the gaming industry. She's a great person and a YouTuber that you should follow online. Man, this is gonna be hard. I'm gonna give this to Nick Mercs or Alana. I'll just give this to Alana because her content is much more diverse. And first of all, I'm a console player. So she makes a lot of news on the different types of console games, as well as PC games. And the industry, gaming industry in total. Best debut game. Carry On, Mortal Shell. Phasmophobia has been taking YouTube, Facebook gaming as well. I see a lot of people sharing their streams playing Phasmophobia. Roki, I haven't played this one. Raj, I haven't played this one as well. I've actually played none of these games to be exact. But I have seen a lot of gameplays of Mortal Shell as well as Carry On. I guess based on all these games, based on popularity, Phasmophobia is gonna win this one. Because the day that it launched, a lot of players just hop onto it. You can see a lot of streams of people playing this game. And they're having a great time with it actually. So that's it. Now we're gonna go back to the main focus of this video, which is Game of the Year. So I've discussed my thoughts on each of the games and each of their categories. So all in all, I'm gonna give this category win to Last of Us Part 2. I loved the game when I played it. I really enjoyed the story, even if it's confidential to others. I like how the world was portrayed, how the characters acted, the way Infected moved. the way the gun sounds, everything about it. I just love it. Even if the story is debatable. So yeah, for me, the winner of Game of the Year is gonna go to Last of Us Part 2. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this take on. I hope you enjoyed my personal take on the Video Game Awards 2020. So if you have any comments as well, or if you have your particular picks, do leave it in the comment section below and we can talk about it. I'm open to discussing on what you love about the game, what you didn't love about the game. And yeah, so you can follow me as well on my other social media pages. Uh do subscribe to this channel. I'll be posting a lot more content soon. It's gonna focus on console games for my YouTube channel. And then I'm streaming on both Facebook and Twitch. And I also got Instagram. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. So hoping I'll see you soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And thank you. See you guys on the next video. Thanks.